welcome to Thought Provoking Thursday. I am Kim Love Jones here, your certified relationship coach, and I wanted to talk to you all about speaking your truth tonight. I'm so glad to be back. Y'all have no idea. I had a crazy week, but I am well. I feel good, and I'm here tonight. That's all that's important, right? Um, I want to talk to y'all tonight about speaking your truth. Speaking your truth in your life, concerning your life and concerning your relationships. It is so important to be honest about who you are and what you want and what you need. There was a friend of mine, and I'm just going to go straight to it today. I'm going to go straight to it. There was a meme. Y'all know how I am when I see these memes. It was a brother who actually posted the meme, right? So check this out. The gentleman says in the meme, he said, if this isn't the goal and it's a hand, a engagement ring and a wedding band, right? And it's a hand of a man and a woman, he said, then I don't want it, right? And his caption was, I don't have and not making time for anything. If this is not the end game, don't nobody want to be a boyfriend, special friend. Enough said. Now, if you follow me on Facebook, then chances are, say hello, everybody, say hello. I see y'all watching. If you follow me on Facebook or you're in my love, relationship, and marriage group, then you know who wrote it, right? And he is a dope brother, and he's always writing stuff to, to the women mostly. Hey, I saw that. I don't know who Hey, I saw that is. I don't know who that is, right? Give StreamYard permission to see your name. But when he wrote that, he was saying he don't want to be a special friend. He said, if it's not leading to marriage, then he don't want it, right? And so another good friend of mine said, somebody I love dearly, who's a friend of mine. Oh, hey, Donna, I saw you. I see you. Give StreamYard permission to see your name. Hi, Emmett. How are you? Said if it's not leading to marriage, he don't want it. He don't want to be a special friend. He don't want to be nobody boyfriend forever. I guess he's looking for his woman, his wife, somebody that he can build with and spend his life with, right? And another special friend of mine, a good friend of mine, said, nah, that's not what I'm doing. You're gonna be single for the rest of your life if the only goal is marriage, right? But I want to just tell you that when we don't speak our truth, when we don't say what it is that we want, we can always be led astray. Always be led astray. You have to gain clarity around what it is that you want, and you got to tell people what it is that you want. I know a lot of people be fronting and acting like marriage is not important, that they good being single, that they big good, like they living their best lives. They flying off to this country, they doing this, and they doing it by themselves with a group of their friends, whether they male or female. I know a lot of brothers travel with their homeboys and all this kind of stuff like that. And the sisters is out there doing big things and traveling to all these different countries, having an amazing life because they're not sitting around waiting for somebody to come and say, I want to make you mine. I get that. But when you have clarity about who you are and what it is that you want, don't get sidetracked because of what somebody else wants for their life. If your goal is to be married and you tell somebody that, or if your goal is to be in a serious relationship because you ain't trying to just, hit it and quit it relationships for the rest of your natural born life, right? If you don't want that, then just be clear about speaking your truth. Hey, Andre, I see you, sweetheart. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, just be honest about where you stand. When people are not honest, it leads to a whole bunch of crap. Stop fronting and acting like, no, I'm good where we at. I could take it. I could deal with it. I know there's a lot of women that are out here that could deal with the, I'll just see you when I see you type of thing, or that's what they have grown to deal with because they don't believe that anybody has the capacity to love them. And there are men out there who do not want to give their hearts and everything to a woman. A lot of men say they don't even want to get married because divorce, the woman get half of everything they work for, right? I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff going on out here in these streets, in the internet streets. Let me say it like that, right? But the idea behind that is always rooted in the other person not being what you want, what you truly want, or what you need. You're settling for them. And when you settle for someone that you do not necessarily want to spend the rest of your life with, you would think like that. You would think like, okay, I'll just hang out with them for as long as I can hang out with them and until I get tired. But that doesn't last either. You can't build on that because the other person knows that you're not serious about them. They know that all they are is good for a lay, right? They know that you're really not trying to do anything spectacular for them, and you're not, and you don't think that they feel your energy when you do that. And I'm talking to men and women, right? You don't think that when you don't make inclusive statements that another person doesn't catch on to the fact that you're really not that into them. But people be knowing that, so they do less. They say less. They don't give their all to you. And people these days are matching energy. They're saying, like, I'm matching energy. Whatever you give me, I'm going to give it to you back. Right? I used to get down like that. I promise y'all I did. I'm just being honest. I got my hand raised over here because I know how I am. I was always about matching energy. Whatever you give me, I'm going to give it to you back. And that's it. You're not getting no more than that. But I'm not living in the matching energy space. I need to show up as authentic as I know how to be. I need to have open and real conversation and true intimacy. And when I don't feel that, I have to move on. I cannot stay in a place where it is not authentic. That goes for family. Let me be clear. It goes for friends. It goes for romantic relationships. If I feel like you're pulling back and you're pulling away, why would I continue to invest my time or attention into somebody who is not giving me that back? Let's be honest. Who wants to do that? Who wants to be in relationship? And as honest as I know how to be, who wants to be in relationship with somebody who is not authentically giving it their all? And sometimes it doesn't require you to run. Sometimes it requires you to say, listen, I'm feeling your energy. I don't understand where it's coming from. I care about you and I want this relationship to work. But if you continue to be or show up in this relationship half-heartedly with me, it's not going to work for you or I, right? And you have to be honest enough to speak that truth. Right, Donna? You can't waste time. You can't waste your time. Who's doing that? Who's doing that in 2023? Right? And maybe some of the younger folks are doing it, to be honest, but they got a whole bunch more time than we have. My homeboy Darren Green would say something to me like, Kim, we got about 20 good more years left. So who wants summers is what he would say, 20 more good summers left, right? Who wants to sit around and waste their time being in relationship with people that are not being authentic, that are not being open, and that are not being honest with you? You better speak your truth. You better say how it is that you really feel, because you end up wasting a lot of your time engaging with people who do not have the capacity to give you what it is that you need. And most of us know exactly what we need. But if we don't tell the other person what we're bringing to the table, then we're not being fair to them, because they are not mind readers in terms of what you need. So we walk around and be like, oh, no, I'm good, knowing that you're not good. A friend of mine gave me this statement, and I love her to absolute Reese's Pieces. Shout out to Dion. She said, Kim, people don't realize that their silence is violence. That is violence against the relationship, that your relationship cannot flourish if you're being silent about how you really feel and what it is that's really going on in your life, right? Silence equals violence towards a potential partner. So if you meet somebody and you're not speaking your truth, and you're not being honest about where you are or what you want or what you need in that relationship, You are literally cheating that relationship and yourself from flourishing. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating that person, and the relationship will never flourish because you're not being honest about what your needs are. Okay. So for the first couple of months, you feel like, I don't want to say no, I'm just going to let it rock. It is what it is. But the person doesn't even know that they're hurting you or that something is wrong, right? So for the first couple of months, you're not going to say anything. Oh, I'll just go along to get along. And before you know it, you at month 6 and you're dissatisfied, but you never spoke your truth. And you think it's going to be okay. Okay, it'll be fine. It's all going to work out. It'll work out later on. I'll at some point, maybe I'll tell the person how I really feel. And the truth is that it hurts the relationship's chances of really flourishing, because what we really need is we need true intimacy, and you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable in order to get to true intimacy, right? I hope I'm making sense. I hope I am making sense, because that's what we all really want. But you can't get there if you're not going to be honest about how you feel, right? If something is bothering you and you don't really feel good about something, then say that, right? So you have to speak your truth. How do you expect, and I'm not talking directly to anybody, I'm just talking about a situation, because I don't know how my thought process is this. We are so disconnected from one another. We need each other. I need the brothers that I have in my life. And I'm talking about friendship right now. I need all my brothers that I have in my life. I need all of my sisters that I have in my life, right? They're amazing and they're wonderful people. I'm just talking about friendships. I'm not talking about relationships, just plain regular platonic. That's my brother, that's my sister. I love you, right? But if there's a problem in that relationship, how is it fair of me not to tell them that something is bothering me that they did or they said? That's not fair. They don't even know that they did. They're used to doing that to people. That's how they operate. That's how they get down. Doesn't make them good or bad. It just makes them different. And it's something for me. It may be a sore spot for me because maybe I went through something in my childhood and it reminded me of something that that I went through before, right? Can I be honest? And then I expect for them to be mind readers, right? And to understand how I feel. No, it doesn't work like that. I got to say to my homeboy, yo, that really bothered me when you said this, that, and the third. I got to say to my sisters, yo, that really bothered me when you said that, and it made me, kind of cringe, and be honest about it, so that they say, wow, Kim, I know you went through that. I'm sorry. I'll be mindful of that when I'm talking to you, right? But that's normal to them. But to me, it hurts my feelings, right? So if I'm honest and I tell them that, my relationship with that person as a friend could move forward. But if I begin to hide things and I harbor things in my heart against them, right? And they have no knowledge of that, right? And I treat them, now I start treating the relationship and them poorly because they did something that I did not like. Is that fair to them? Is it fair to me? Because now I'm kiboshing the whole relationship and I haven't been open and I haven't been honest about how I really feel, right? There's some people out here that no matter what you do, and you could be as awesome and amazing as you want to be, they're never going to like you. They don't care what you say. They don't care what you do. Some people will come into your circumference and use you. Some people are intimidated by you. Some people don't like you just because you are you. You haven't done anything to them. Y'all just don't jive. And guess what? That's okay. But to be honest with you, if you're really trying to build something with someone who you say that you like, you love, or you care about, or you're trying to build a relationship with, then to be honest with you, the best thing for you to do is to be honest. We need one another. And yet we are so disconnected because people don't want to speak the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. And they ain't gotta bump them. Like, right, listen, Linda, you know, hey sis, I see you. Listen, they don't. They don't. They don't have to. That's my girl calling me Sandy Sand. Listen, they don't have to like you. They don't. And that's the truth. But if you care about them and you care about the relationship, then you have to be honest. Speak your truth. Say what's on your heart and what's on your mind, especially if you think that the person is worth it. If you don't care about them, that's a whole nother talk show. This is a mute conversation. Ain't no reason to even have it. But I'm talking about for those that you say that you love or you care about, you have to be honest with them and honest with yourself. Stop hiding. Tell them the truth, right? So that this way, you don't have to sit there and be wondering or being angry or being upset or frustrated with who they are because they did something that offended you, right? I mean, let's be honest about that. How are relationships, real, authentic, intimate relationships, supposed to work if you won't allow yourself to have true intimacy with your partner? And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about building a strong, solid foundation. It doesn't work if you're not going to be honest. It doesn't work. Right? So I wanted to jump on tonight because it's Thought Provoking Thursday. I want to hear what y'all think about this. I want to hear about y'all experiences because I think that this is important because nobody's talking about this stuff. Like, let's be honest. You hurt my feelings. The way that you're acting or the way that you're treating me is hurting my feelings or whatever it is that you need to say to the person. But being honest is the only way to resolve that. If you study saying, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing, forget them. Yeah, okay, that's for most people, but not for a person that you genuinely care about. Stop hiding who you are. Tell them the truth. And if they can't handle it, then you're gonna find out quicker and you can leave them alone and not even be bothered and don't even worry about it. But don't walk around here harboring harsh feelings and not speaking your truth about how you feel about one particular situation or another. And the thing that I find is a lot of people are fronting. They go into relationships and they're like, oh no, I only eat salads. Or I'm talking about women in that particular instance. Or for the brothers, nah, I'm good. No, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do none of that stuff. Like they be coming up with or they don't want to tell you how many kids they got. Like, how long is that gonna last if you're gonna have a real relationship, right? I know a guy who did not want to tell me how many kids he had. I think he had like 8 or 9 kids. And I was like, oh, so I know now why he didn't want to tell me. By different women. Okay, I got it, right? My point is, if you're going to be honest, if you're going to have a real relationship, then you have to speak your truth. You absolutely have to. And you have to be self-aware about what your truth is. What is your truth? What is your truth? Why does that bother you? Why does that rub you the wrong way? Does it really have anything to do with them? Or does it have something to do with your past? Does it have something to do with who you used to be? And you can't handle it when somebody says or does something to you. But is it them or is it you? Ask yourself that question. Because a lot of times it's just old garbage that people hold on to. And I can admit that even for myself. Right? I'm not who I used to be, but I got the residue of my past on me because we all do, right? It was something that shifted my thinking that made me into the person that I am today. But is it something that they're really doing to me or are they purposely trying to hurt me? Maybe not. But if I don't ever open up the can of worms and speak about it and tell them what I've been through, allowing myself to be vulnerable, right? Then ultimately I can lose a really good relationship because I won't tell them the truth. And I know that I've done this. So I'm speaking from experience. I've walked away from people because they hurt me and they never even knew that they hurt me. You understand? And I'm being honest about that. And you can really mess up a really, really good relationship when you're not being honest and you're not being open about who you are and some of the things that concern you, or some of the things that you need to talk about to help people to learn who you are. Some people just hide. They just hide, men and women. Now, I ain't going to tell them all that because I ain't getting in that deep. Well, if you got a criminal record, you got a criminal record for both men and women. Everybody's not judging you because of that. If you got a college degree, you don't have a college degree. Everybody's not judging you because of that. I see people who are beautiful and they're even more beautiful and together than a person who got 10 degrees, right? Or 4 or 5, let's just keep it there, right? They got more degrees than a thermometer, but they don't have your character. They don't have your charisma. They're not you. But some people feel less than because they don't have. And they feel like, I have something to prove. And if I can't do this, or if I don't meet a certain standard, then I'm not good enough for that person. You can open up and you can speak your truth. And if they don't accept you as you are, you will learn that sooner than later, right? Because who you are and who you are becoming is more important than who you used to be. Donna says, I feel like being honest and telling that man that they did or said something that bothered me. They still didn't acknowledge my feelings. So like you said, it's time to move on because I used to shut down and don't say anything else. No, yeah, it's time to move on, Donna. Let's just be honest. If they don't acknowledge how you feel, then you know that it's time to move on. If I could be perfectly honest with you, you know that it's time to move on. Because when a person does not even try to understand you, they're not the person for you. There's a different language that people who care about you speak. They lean in. They want to know, like, why. They want to know how. And men probably turned their ear off to me 5 minutes ago. And the reason why is because men do not want to be vulnerable to anybody. But we as sisters know that being vulnerable is the only way to see who truly cares about us. Men don't like to do that. They don't like the word vulnerable. They don't like to pour out their heart. They don't want to do all of that. A lot of brothers, some brothers do it. A lot of brothers don't like to do that. It's important, though, that we honor who we are, that we speak our truth, right? And don't sit on the sidelines expecting people to figure us out, because people do not do that. But they will feel your energy, though. And I'll say, she not that into me. And then that's for my sisters. They'll be like, she ain't feeling me. Donna, you said it took a long time for you to figure that out. Yeah. I don't know why sometimes it takes us, Donna, if I could be honest, and I'm speaking about myself more than I'm speaking about you, for somebody to hit me in the head with a daggone sledgehammer in order for me to get that they don't really care about me. That's why I think I'm a little more guarded now than I've ever been in my life. And I guard myself and I watch people. I watch how people move. I watch what they do and I watch what they say. And that shows me basically everything that I need to know about who they are and who they're going to be to me, whether or not they make it to the next round or the next level in my life. It's really rooted in their behaviors and their words, because everything has to line up. That's why I'm not quick to date people. I'm really not quick to do that. I got to see what's going on with you. I got to listen. I got to pay attention. Right? And it can't just be, ooh, what you wearing today? Or, I saw that picture and you look fly, right? Or I did, it can't be surface stuff like that. No, it can't be. If we're going to be in a relationship, if you want to take it further, they really do determine, because a lot of my friends are like, Kim, you always friend zoning somebody. And I'm like, no, they friend zone themselves. I don't friend zone them. They friend zone themselves. It's because of what they say and what they do. And sometimes I really do explain to them what's wrong, or what I see, right? And I'm not trying to really necessarily get them to overcome an objection that I might have, but I'm as open and honest as I know how to be, right? And I'm not going to degrade anybody. I'm not going to talk down to anyone. I'm not going to make them feel bad about who they are, because I myself have some challenges, because we all do, right? But once I see what they're working with, how they act and how they treat me and their words, it shows me everything that I need to know. And I don't move any further. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's my boy. And they be like, I'm your boy. Oh, okay, heard you. You know, yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend. Right? We cool. Because based on how you treat me is what I'm going to give you back. And I'm not really talking about matching energy. I'm talking about being more than just a friend. Right? That's why you don't see me like, oh, I'm dating this one, that one, this. No, I'm not doing that. I got a lot of homeboys, and that's where they at. They in a homeboy zone, right? They're in a brother zone, right? Because when I met them, they behaved in such a way that it made me understand that they were not it for me, right? And it was rooted in what they did and what they said, right? And it's with me being open and honest and speaking my truth. And it's okay if you don't like me enough. I mean, to make me your girlfriend or want to marry me or something like that. I'm good with that, right? But when I saw that the gentleman posted that meme, if we're not working on building something that's going to be long lasting, I don't want to be a special friend. I don't want to be a special friend. I'm your woman. I am seen. I am out front. I am with you. You are with me. We are together. We're working on building a life that is conducive for us, for our children, for our families. I want to be a beacon of light in a dark place. If you are not talking on that level, then chances are you're probably not the one for me. Right? Because I don't want to just be hanging out with nobody for the rest of my life. Once again, my homeboy Darren Green says we got about a good 20 personal summers left. Think about that in terms of wasting your time, in terms of just, well, I'll just wait and I'll tell them later how I feel. No, speak your truth right now. Tell them how you feel. Be honest, be open, and be upfront. Because when you do that, your relationship can grow, because they know where you stand and you know where they stand. And if they're not standing where you standing, it's okay. Right now is a good time for me to walk away, for me to just go ahead on about my business. Hello, somebody. Hello. I don't have to stay here and pretend like I didn't just see what you just did or hear what you just said to me. I could rock with that, right? I see it. Right? I don't have to pretend I ain't see it so that I could stay with you and act like you didn't just offend me and everything that I stand for. No. That's why I be telling women all the time, if a man tell you he's not ready for a relationship, anything you do past that point, you are signing a waiver saying, if I continue on this ride, if I get injured, if I get hurt, if anything happens, I've already signed this waiver saying I'm okay with that. So let's be clear. When you know what you want, say what you want and don't be afraid of it. If marriage is what you want, speak that. If just dating for right now is what you're doing, and just dating, not courting, you're just dating. If that's what you want, say that. If you're ready for something serious and you're ready to build something that can lead to marriage, say that. Be honest about that. Speak your truth. But don't play around out here with nobody. Because we don't have time like that to waste. We really don't. Life and time is too short. Time is winding up, right? So we don't have time for that. Let's be honest about who we are. Let's be honest about our wants and our needs. and the objectives that we have for our lives and our goals. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing nothing because you're cheating your own self, right? That's what I tell people all the time. So check this out. I had a really good conversation earlier with a good friend of mine that I've been knowing since I've been knee high to a frog. No, since he been knee high to a frog. And he and I was talking, and it was this meme that was posted, and he commented on the meme. And I said, "Really, you feel like that?" And he said, "Yeah, women shouldn't be too friendly with men." And I was like, really? He said, yeah, because then I got to protect her. A guy might think he's in a relationship with her or whatever, or that she really digging him if she be too nice to him and this, that. So I was like, wow. And a lot of other brothers was chiming in on that. This is the second part to what I'm talking about tonight. And I said, wow. I said, you really feel like that? He said, yeah. And I was kind of taken back because I always thought that when a man says that, he doesn't like his woman being too friendly, or the commentary was, I agree with the meme, right? I said, wow. I said to myself, wow, this is kind of heavy. I said, because I always say, hey, baby, hey, sugar, hey, this, hey, that. I'm always talking to everybody, and I got all these niceties flowing up out of me. I'm used to it. That's who I am, right? It really took me back as I was having a conversation with him that a lot of men, not because of low self-esteem, but because it gives other men the wrong idea. It gives other men the idea that you really like them when you're too nice to them. And so that kind of took me back. I had to really, really, really think about that because I was like, wow. So all of this time, I've been being exceptionally nice to everybody, male and female. Like, hey, baby, and I'm hugging everybody, and, I'm peace and love everywhere I go. And didn't even realize that it's not about a man necessarily having low self-esteem, but it is about men who don't want to have to fend off other brothers that think, and y'all could chime in on this for me, that make another man think that he has the potential to be in your life. I said, wow. Because men, if a woman is exceptionally nice and they say, thank you, sweetie, or, or hi, babe, how are you? Just in passing, because you know them, but you ain't in a really, you don't have like a real, that it can make a man think, feel, or believe the man you're talking to and saying hello to that you want them. I said, oh my God, are you serious? He said, yeah. A lot of men think that when you say, hey, sweetie, what's up? Hey, baby, what's good? And you talking to them, they really think that means something that it doesn't necessarily mean, because you're just being nice. But when a woman is overly friendly, it almost invites other men to believe that they have a chance with her. And I thought to myself, wow. Oh, right. Okay, Andrea, you better say that, girl, or that you're too accessible. I can say nicety or hug someone in an open forum around people. I can't say niceties or open some. I got you. I can't say niceties or hug someone in an open forum around people. Right. Right. And that thing kind of took me back because and I'm being honest with y'all, because y'all know I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a social worker. I'm a coach, right? And so I talk to my brothers because I'll be trying to understand certain things. And men talk to me and tell me a whole bunch of stuff, right? So when I ask questions, they answer me honestly, right? Yes, Donna. Oh my God. I knew it, but in my head, I always equated it to a brother having low self-esteem. Said, no, it makes you look like everybody has access to you and they don't. And then if the brother come off wrong, because now the dude she said hello to thinks that there could possibly be something, then now he got to push him back up off of you and say, nah, that's my girl, kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying it like how God would say it, but y'all know what I mean, right? So for me, in a real way, it was kind of eye-opening because I know him and he's handsome. He's a good-looking young man. Well, he's younger than me. He's like my little brother for real, if I could be honest, right? Um, it kind of took me back because I call everybody babe, no matter where I go. I'm like, hey, babe, how you doing? Hey, baby, what's good? That's kind of my personality, or I've intertwined that as part of my personality, right? And no, it doesn't mean that you can't be yourself. It doesn't mean that. So you can't be yourself. No, it doesn't mean that, Donna. It just means that, okay, let me put it to you like this. When I answer my phone, I say, hey, baby, how you doing? To almost everybody who calls my phone. If it's somebody that I just recently met, or I'm saying recently met, but you get what I'm saying, that I met in the past, right? Let me say it like that. And I said that, they would go, oh, wow, she's addressing me as baby, right? I know that now that that's what they're thinking. So now let's say I'm going in the store and I'm on the phone with them, and I walk in the store and I know everybody at my corner store, right? And they be like, hey, Kim, what's up? I'm like, hey, baby, how you doing? And they'll say to me, the brother will say to me on the phone, oh, you call everybody baby. I'm like, yeah, that's just my personality. And then they go, oh, so I'm not special. I said, no, you're special. It's just that I call everybody baby. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't make them feel good. And I don't know why, because I always equated that to like, okay, but I'm not talking to them. I'm just greeting them, right? I'm just saying hello. But it says, but on the but so Andrea says, but on the other hand, men can kiss, hug, and call women servers in a restaurant baby or sweetheart. It's true. It's true. But if that was their personality, I don't know. How does that feel to you as a woman if your man is calling the waitress at a restaurant, sweetheart? Sweetheart, can you get me some whatever? Is that still a nicety, or do you think he's flirting with her? Right? Andrea, that question is for you clearly. Right? Do you think that he's flirting with her, or he's just being nice? Because I think I'm being nice. But I know for a fact that it rubs people the wrong way because they've said it to me. Like, oh, you just call everybody baby. I'm like, yeah, because that's kind of who I am. That's like my signature. Hey, baby, what's good? Or hey, baby, it's good to see you. Oh, it didn't bother you, but he was flirting. And it could be received as me flirting as well. Right? It could be perceived as such. And so I say all of this to say that sometimes there's got to be a shift in your perspective and the way that you see things, right? Because I promise y'all, all this time I've been thinking like, no, I don't like them. They just cool, But it's the way it's received. And one of my brothers who lived in Wisconsin, God rest his soul, he has passed away. And I loved him like cook food, man. He was my boy. He used to pray for me and everything. He lived in Wisconsin and he would say to me, Kim, I know you call everybody baby. He said, but listen, there are men who are married and been in relationships with their wives and who have never heard their wife call them any type of term of endearment. And the minute you say it, they think that you want more from them, and then they start liking you because of the way that you talk to them and you just being kind and gracious. He said you got to stop saying that to men because men hear it differently. You might be saying it one way, but they're hearing it differently. So this is actually not the first little brother or brother that I've spoken to that has told me this before, right? And I still was like, that's just who I am. No, it causes problems in your relationships. It really does. It's just something to think about. It is Thought-Provoking Thursday, for crying out loud. It definitely is something to think about in terms of your relationships, right? I can't say that anymore. I could say, hey, sis. Hey, bro. I can't call him baby. I can't be like, yo, I can't do it no more. Right? Because it's going to make most men feel like at this particular juncture in their lives, right? And in our relationship, that they're not that important or that everybody has the same level playing ground as they do when I see them as special to me, right? She was extremely young and looked like she was offended. It was a Nigerian restaurant. Oh, okay. And he was flirting. A friend was telling me it was offensive if we were in a relationship. Okay, okay. I see you, Andrea. I see you. You know, and I don't know because I never put that much thought into it. I just show up being authentically who I am. But sometimes I think we need to make concessions. And that's what I'm saying to you. The way that I've always thought about things. Sometimes you got to change your perception. Sometimes it takes somebody else to say something to you that a person that's very close to you didn't have the words to say to you, right? Because then it'll come off as being something that it's not. It'll come off as being low self-esteem. It'll come off as being controlling or trying to tell you how you should be, what you should be doing. And no, I don't want you talking, like that. So it's interesting. It was interesting, but it actually, the entire conversation that he and I had changed my perspective about some things. And I see now what I could not see before. You know, some men use terms like boo, sweetheart, and baby. Yeah, they do, Donna. They do. They do. But are they talking about you or are they talking about somebody else? Right? And that's what I have to be mindful of. You said narcissism? Really, Andrew? You think it's narcissism on their behalf? Wow. It's it being narcissist. It's all about them. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know that. Everybody's situation is different, right? But wow. Wow. But I know that if you're going to be in a relationship and somebody says that to you, oh, you call everybody baby. At that point, you should know that it has really offended them. And it's okay that you take notice of that. It's okay that you shift your alignment. Not that somebody's trying to control you or make you conform, right? They're just being honest about how something makes them feel. And you're hearing them and you're making adjustments as needed. Because if they're special to you and they mean something to you, then you change it. Now, if I thought for 2 seconds that it was rooted in low self-esteem or in control, I probably wouldn't change it. But if it's somebody that I keep attracting them in different arenas, a narcissist, what does that say, Andrea? What does that say? If you keep attracting narcissists, what does that say? What does that mean to you? I thought it was about trustworthiness too, Donna, but it's not because I'm very trustworthy. I'm a very trustworthy person. Like if I'm dealing with you, I'm just dealing with you. I'm not dealing with you and nobody else, right? I mean, there's no question. You my man. You are my man. There is no. It's not that they don't trust you. They don't trust the other person, right? I get both sides. I think it depends on your relationship and your trustworthiness in that person. I do too. I do too. I do too. Andrea, my self-esteem needs work. It's something that needs to be worked on if you keep attracting narcissists. Because you know what? Narcissists choose. They choose. Every person chooses who they want to be in relationship with. If I could be perfectly honest with you, they will pick you out as if you was in a lineup If your behavior is such that you are accepting of the me, it's all about me type of a person. They could pick you out of 10 other people, but you're the one who's going to co sign it. You're the one who's going to allow it. And you're going to keep meeting the same person until you do some introspection and figure out, why is it that I keep attracting those same type of people to myself? That's important. Can I be honest? I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to have a real transparent moment. I kept meeting. Yep, that could be it too. I kept meeting, but check this out. I kept meeting men who were unavailable for many, many years. And one day I had this whole conversation, well, within myself. I was doing some checking. I checked in and I realized that the reason why I kept meeting people that were unavailable was because I was unavailable. And they suited me for that point in time in my life. Now, confession is good for the soul, but bad for the reputation. But that is the truth. I didn't want to be all the way in with anybody. But I kept saying, like, why can't I meet anybody who really wants to be in the series? And I'm going back 20 years. I'm going back more than 20, actually. Okay. And then even when I got divorced, I wasn't ready for a relationship. And I kept meeting exactly who I was. Once again, confession is good for the soul, but bad for the reputation. Being honest, being open, speaking my truth is how I live today. But for many years, I kept meeting people that was unavailable because I myself was unavailable. I wasn't all the way in or all the way out. I was just there. Like, you want to hang out? Let's hang out. Right? And I'm going back a long time. But it doesn't matter, because until I made up my mind to do the work in me, I kept meeting the same type of people. Real talk. Because I'm telling you that I was in a 10-year relationship with somebody and I wasn't all the way in or all the way out. And if you think that that man could not feel my energy, and I was only because I'm loyal like a dog. If I'm with you, I'm with you. But I never gave him my all. Never. And then had the nerve to get an attitude. Oh, God, I hate telling y'all my business. But then had the nerve to get an attitude because he didn't choose me. Like, we never got into like a full, like, I want to marry you type of a relationship. But I never gave him my all. So why would he? I had to look inside of me, and I'm being honest. I had to look at who I was being. I never did. And I thought he was crazy. Okay. Okay. I'm going back years, many years. But I'm being honest. These are my confessions. What do you mean, Vinny? I'm just being honest. I kept trying to figure out, like, why can't I be somebody? Or why can't I be somebody? Oh my God, you don't know how hard that was for me. And then when I really started doing some introspection, I started looking at who I was being. I realized that the reason why I kept meeting the same type of person over and over again is because that's who I was. That's who I was. And they gave me, and I got exactly what I was giving out. That energy. And a lot of people think people can't feel your energy, but they can. They can feel your energy. I was in a 10-year relationship with him. And I wasn't messing with nobody. I mean, it was all about him. But I was never all the way in. Never. Now what, Kim? How do you fix that? Andrea, honestly, and I'm empathic too. I'm an empath too. I feel people's pain. I could see, I have compassion and empathy for people and what they go through. But I was dealing with them with a long handle spoon. And how do you have a great relationship with people when you keep people at a distance in your life? How come you keep meeting people that are narcissists? That's the question. And that question requires you to dig deep in order to find the answer. What are you confessing? What are you confessing, Benny Ha? I want to know. Okay. Wait a minute. Don says, oh, okay. If they tell me it bothers them, I would stop saying certain terms of endearment. Yes, I get you, Donna. I get you. I really do. I think that if people expect you to know that things bother them and they expect you not to do certain things, but rather than them tell you and be open and honest with you, they'll never say anything. They'll dust you off and be done with you, and treat you as if you never mattered, as opposed to just telling you so that you two can work it out together. And people walk away from you and they be big mad and they'll talk about you to everybody else, but they'll never tell you how you made them feel. And nothing ever gets resolved. And I'm being honest, right? When I happen to wake up, that's why I teach my classes. I have my monthly membership group. I'm talking about that because it's important to me. The lessons that I've learned, these are not things I read in a book. But listen, a matter of fact, I ain't even going to talk about that now. I'll tell y'all about it later on in the year. But that's why I teach the way that I do. Because I've had these experiences, because I've done the work. Because I dig deep into who I am every day. Because I think about the process. I think about my active, ongoing healing. I think about getting better so I can stop attracting what I don't want and so that I can attract all of the things that I do want, right? It's about being real. It's about being authentic, right? It's about speaking your truth. It's about not hiding who you are and being bold in that. And if somebody doesn't like you, oh, well, so sad, too bad. As long as I like and love myself, right? But being honest with others requires you to be honest with yourself. It requires you to do some deep diving into who you are and to begin to wash off the residue of your past and who you used to be. It's about personal growth. It's about development. It's about cultivating a new you. It's about showing up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable so you can see who's really in your corner and who's not. You'll never find that out unless you allow yourself to be vulnerable. You'll never find out who's for you or who's against you if you don't trust anybody. And you'll live literally, this is my greatest fear, is to find, my greatest fear is to let what somebody else did to me affect who I'm going to be. That's why I lean into my work so much. Because I don't want to be the person. I don't want to be that person. If I could be honest with you, I don't want to be that person, right? I want to be the person who doesn't allow what my past was to dictate what my future is going to be. So I'm always looking inward so that I can be a better version of me. And a lot of people don't want to do that work, and they're not going to be honest. So Benny Ha says, I'm attracting what I want and what I don't want. I don't want the married ones, the real reckless in these streets. I want no parts of it. You better say so. You better say so. But I'll tell you something, real talk, Benny Ha. The focus has got to be on what you do want. It can never be on what you don't want. If you're vacillating back and forth between the two, vacillate towards what you do want. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when you doing this with both of them and you keep seeing both of them, it's because a decision. Because after a while, you no longer see the negative. You just see what it is that you want. When a dude walks up to me, I promise y'all everything I love. When a man walks up to me and that brother is not coming correct, it's something in my spirit. I won't even jive with him. I could say hello and I'll keep walking. He cannot arrest my attention. He's not where I need him to be. And I'm not saying you could just tell everything about a person, because you don't judge necessarily a book by its cover, right? But even if I gave him a phone call, let's say we got to that point, and the minute I see that he's not operating where I live, what I generally do, right, is I'm just not making any more time. I wouldn't mention him. His name doesn't come up for me. If I won't even tell somebody, yo, I was at the store the other day and I met this guy and I talked to him on the phone and he did. I won't even say that. He'll never be mentioned in my circumference. I've made a decision. I heard what I heard. I saw your behavior. There was something about you that didn't jive with who I am. And I don't even mention you. Never mind getting to the point of a date. I'm only focused on what I want, not what I don't want. And what I want is I want somebody who's in alignment with me. And so I focus on the people that are in my life or the people that I meet that align with the things that I'm aligned with. The people who are not in alignment don't even come into the equation ever. I don't even discuss them. I might say, if I seen them once and they gave me their phone number, I talked to them, and now I'm hanging out with a girlfriend of mine and we in the mall or something and I see him and he'd be like, hey, what's up, Kim? You know, whatever. And my girl was like, yo, you know, who's that? I was like, girl, he ain't even worth talking about. Let's, keep shopping. You understand? Never. I always want to focus on what it is that I want for my life. And here's the truth. I have an abundance of everything that I need already. So anybody that comes into my life is only going to enhance my life when they're in alignment with where I am and who I am as a person. Nobody's completing me. Nobody's making me, you know what I'm saying? So I can't focus on the negative. I can if I wanted to, but I choose not to. Because I have love all around me. I have amazing and wonderful people all around me all the time, right? I just got like 4 text messages since I started doing this live, right? People calling me. Why? Because I have an abundance of love. That's what I focus on, right? There are times, though, that I know that negativity comes into my space whether I like it or I don't. All I know is that I have to be more careful. Who seems so negative? He seems so negative. Who seems so negative? Donna. I know that my focus has got to be on the people who love me and not on the people who don't. I just got to switch gears. I got to get rid of those who are not in alignment with me and what I want. Oh, that's my boy. Okay. I'm going to leave that right there. That is my boy, though. I love him. Like, cook food. I know he's rough around the edges, or so he seems. But I don't, when I see him, because I know him personally, I see love. And I know he drives everybody crazy. Yes, his comments are very tough. But I think he does that for the most part to ruffle people's feathers. I don't think that that's all of who he is. He's complex. But he gives the best daggone hugs ever. You have to fight everybody to get to him to get hugs. Yeah, some people just do stuff for the book. That's not all of who they are, right? And I know you don't know that. I know you don't know that, but I know that about him. And I just let him rock and laugh and keep it pushing. You know I love you, right? You know I love you. Listen, hear me. People was coming for my boy Daryl the other day. I had to call him up on the phone and be like, listen, D. And he's like, Kim, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I said, all right, I'm just telling you, you know. But, I understand that everybody sees what they want to see, right? What they want portrayed. Can I tell y'all? I think I'm like a super dope, super nice person, but y'all ain't with me all the time. I always post positive stuff because that's my choice, right? I choose what I want to put out there. But there are some days that I'm having a rough day. And you might catch me and I'm in here hysterically crying. Nobody would know that, right? Because I don't choose to put that out there. My mom, when I think about my mother, I be in here going through it, y'all, but y'all don't know that. Donna, I was just at the hospital I came home yesterday morning. I ain't make no public service announcement about that. You ain't see it because it wasn't necessary. That's what I'm saying, sis. People put on Facebook and on IG what they want you to see. That's not all of who they are. I'm like an onion. I got layers. You don't know. You don't know. I said, Kim is so nice and we just love Kim. And Kim is, and I am. I'm very positive and I'm upbeat. I've truly lived my life like that. But I have my moments. But I choose not to display them. But that's not all of who I am. I'm not always happy, joy. I've been going through different situations nobody don't know about, Donna. You understand? Right. Well, okay, Benny. All right. Just like you have a rough day, that person you meet might be having a rough day and you don't see their true selves and you could be missing out on your blessing. I really, really could. You're right. You're right. And I'm taking that saying to myself, right? Donna, the only reason why you knew about it was because I had the group last night and I couldn't do the group because I just came home from the hospital. But nobody knew that. And I slept all day yesterday. But nobody knew that, Donna. And I ain't put no announcement up either. Like, yo, I'm in the hospital, I don't feel good. I ain't do that. So sometimes we don't see the other sides of people because you don't know them personally, right? And and this is not just in defense of Benny High because I love him and he's my friend and I feel like he is a friend. This is about everybody you see on the ground. Everybody's relationship ain't perfect either. People will make you believe that, but they ain't tell you they had a fight 2 weeks ago and he talked about her mama. You know what I'm saying? But who do you sleep with all day? Who did you sleep with? Myself. What are you talking about? What? You crazy. You're so silly. But you get what I'm saying? There are layers to people. People portray what they want you. They put out there what they want you to see. Right? I guess I'm too, happy, joy. And they got to bring down the other side of that thing. Right? So different strokes for different folks. But until you kind of, really get to know people, don't believe everything you see on social media. Because that is not a true depiction of who people are and the fullness of who they are. Right? Okay. Andrea says, if you love someone, that says they love you too, but they can't give me what I want. I can't turn it. I don't know what that symbol is. I left them 6 months before they said they are dating someone they've known for 30 years. If you love someone that says they love you too, but they can't give me what I want, I can't turn it. I don't understand. Oh, I can't turn it off. Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. I left them 6 months before they said they were dating someone they've known for 30 years. Okay, got you. Got you, Andrea. You know, can I tell you, and this is me being honest, and I gotta get ready to go, but can I be honest with you? Sometimes, no matter how much you love somebody, they're just not it for you. And you're not it for them, right? No, you can't turn it off. When you really love somebody, in fact, them not being with you never stops you from loving them. It's okay that you love them. It's okay. You can love people as much as you want to, and there's nothing that they can do about it, right? But the other side to that is they get to do and be with whomever they want to do and be with, right? But what you get to do when you genuinely love somebody is to be happy for them wherever it is that they are. And that might seem hard to do. But the truth is, when you really genuinely love somebody, you don't stop loving them when you're not together with them. When it's real love, all you want for them is the very best, whether it's with you or not. And that's real talk. Now, Kim lives in a fairy tale la la land. That's what some might say. But the reality of the situation is that when it's true love, you just want them to be happy. That's it. You want what's best for them. And sometimes we want what's best for them to be us. And it's not. They need something else. And as much as that might hurt, that's the truth. I love so many people from a distance. And they can't stop me from loving them. I get to love them. I get to love them. I get to love whomever I want. And nobody can do anything about it. But that doesn't mean that you have access to me because I love you. Because before I can pour that kind of love into anybody, I have got to be loving myself. And that's real talk. And I love me more than I love anybody else. That's the thing that gives me the capacity to love you no matter where you are. And so real talk. I'm not going to make you. I'm not going to manipulate you. I'm not going to try to control you. I love you. And I want whatever is best for you, even if it doesn't mean me. I need you to have what you need. But I love me so much that I need somebody in my life that has the capacity to love me and hold me the way that you need somebody to love you, the way that you need to be loved. And that's real talk. That's real talk. People don't completely understand what love really is. They function in a strong like a lot of times that's rooted in, if you do what I want you to do, which is love me the way that I need you to love me, then I love you. Really? Is that what that is? Is that love? Love is I see all of your flaws. I see you for who you really are. And I love you still. And I don't care where you go. I don't care who you with. You can never stop me from loving you. I love you for being the beautiful and amazing and wonderful person that you are. And a lot of people, Andrea, real talk, they don't understand what love is. And they don't operate and function from the place of love. If you love me, when you hear that, if you love me, you would do this. Maybe they don't have the capacity to love you like that. Now you need to work on whether or not you can deal with the capacity that they have. You asking somebody to put, and I think I heard TD Jakes say something like this, to put a whole gallon, you trying to pour a whole gallon of your love into their pint-sized bottle. They don't have the capacity to hold your love like that. And what ends up happening, you know what Billy High used to, you said preach, girl. I just saw that. And you got this gallon, you trying to pour into a pint-sized container. And then you get mad because they don't have it. And then they go find them somebody who operates with pint-sized love like they do. Can I tell you? I just confessed that. I just confessed it. I would always try to figure out, like, why do I keep meeting people that's unavailable? And I had to look inside of myself. And I said, Kim, real talk. This is after a review. It wasn't during, it was a review. Is when I got still and I got quiet. Kim, you never really gave yourself your all to anybody. And I could tell you the science behind that because I never felt safe enough to. But that does not excuse me. It means it was an area that I was supposed to work on. So I was expecting to get this gallon love, and I only had the pint-sized container. Y'all better stop playing with me because I'm going to tell you the truth every time. If we're going to confess it, let's tell it like how it really is. So there's people who wanted to pour into me, and I didn't have the capacity to hold them. Okay, all right. I'm going to shut up. If it hits you, just say ouch and amen and keep it moving. Because that's real talk. It's people who have goo-gobs of respect for me. They think, Kim, you a really, really nice person. But come up close and personal. Come in a little closer. When they came in a little closer, what they found was an unavailable person. That's why I kept meeting people that was unavailable. Just being honest. I'm just being honest. But it was always somebody else's fault back then because I didn't know no better. I didn't see myself. I wasn't even trying to. I was just moseying along about my day. Yeah, thinking I was doing something. Didn't even realize that I was the cause of the fail. And I'll say this to everybody. You are 100% responsible for your relationship, whether you like it or you don't. People like, Kim, how could you say that? How can you say it? It's the truth? You're 100% responsible for your relationships. It's not anybody else's responsibility. And whoever I'm talking to, whoever's listening, even on the replay, I'm saying it again. You are 100% responsible for your relationship. So whatever it is in you, why you keep attracting the same type of person, why things keep seeming like just out of control, check your temperature, baby. Check your temperature here and here. Check your own temperature. It's not always everybody else. All right, I'm going to go back to the comments. Absolutely. They portray this character they want people to believe. I'm just looking for the one I could be myself with, share intimacy, but these 2023 social media data. Lord, LAWD. Lord, right. But you know what? I think people are just waking up to what's important, though. Real talk, Benny Ha. People are waking up to what's important to them, right? I mean, it's hard, but you begin to find out that it's the way that you treat me, it's how you love on me, it's how you regard me, it's how you see me, right? It's how you treat me. That really matters. Like if you treat me good and I treat you good, I'm not saying I want to live in a shack or a tent, but I'm saying we could build a world together, right? Because I know you got my back and I got yours. That's real talk, right? So the rules are only rules that you know you need for yourself, right? Because you got to have a standard. If you don't have a standard, And I know how men are, oh, they got too high standards. Yeah, sometimes they're unrealistic expectations. It's true. But you tweak it when you meet the right person. You tweak it. Because you find out the money is not the only thing that matters in relationships. You find out that a person can make mid to high six figures, but they treat you like crap. That don't work. Sure, you could buy any kind of pocketbook you want, right? But does it make you feel warm and fuzzy at night when they out doing whatever with whomever, but you being kept? Nah, that don't work either. And men don't care about money. They care about respect. But if you met a woman who had a banging body and seemingly had everything together, but she didn't respect you, would that work? No. So yeah, you gotta have a standard. You can't not have a standard, right? And a woman should hold herself in very high regard, and every man should not have access to her just because he says she's beautiful. Yeah, that part. Facebook user says, that's truth, Kim Love Jones. Just because I can't have you doesn't mean you shouldn't be happy with whom you choose, and vice versa. I don't know who wrote that. I don't know who wrote that. Okay. Give StreamYard permission to see your name. Donna said, I had to walk away from someone I love, but they couldn't love me the way I needed. And that's important. That's really, really important. Like, think about that. Right? I had a conversation with one of my homeboys one time. He's in a relationship with this woman, and she was dope too. I really dug her, right? She's a nice lady. And he was in a relationship with her, and she straight said, I'm not changing my life. I'm not changing how I get down. I'm not changing how I do things. Look, either you get with it, either you get right or you get left. He hung in there for a minute. He did. And then he realized, like, she wasn't it. And I remember saying to him, I said, listen, you could breathe. She was never it because you know what you needed. She wasn't giving you what you needed, right? And your needs and your wants and your desires are just as important as hers. And she straight told you, like, I'm not changing my life. I'm not changing my life. And consequently, all the women in her family is single. Sorry. They ain't got no men. And the one who got a man, he impact. Sorry. I'm going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I said, you're going to live. You're not going to die. She's very upset by that. I said, but she straight told you from the beginning. She wasn't changing her life, her lifestyle, nothing. Her hours at work, nothing. To try to be in a serious relationship with you to get married. I understand, but she's not the one for you because she wasn't willing to make the concessions for you. And you need what you need, period. And don't let anybody talk you out of. It's not a want. Some things are like air. It's like you breathing. You need it. And she was unwilling. She was unwilling to compromise. And consequently, once again, all of her family, except for like one or two people, were single. All the sisters in her family. I wonder why. Okay, we're going to move on from that. Some people are trying to operate in polyamorous relationships, situationships that even our grandparents dealt with and didn't complain or address it. Okay. And let me say this, Andrea. People get to do whatever they want to do. And you get to love you. They can be polyamorous. They could be into whatever it is that they want to be into. But if that is not what you want for your life, then if that does not agree or align with who you are and what you want and what you need, then it's a no bueno. It was nice knowing you. I'll catch you around. Because what you want and what you need, and I won't even say your wants, what you need is more important than anything. And the only time we compromising on our needs is when you with somebody who understands and that is in alignment and wants some of the same things that you want. You want to build something with somebody, then deal with people who want to build something, not with people who want to be in polyamorous relationships. You know, our grandparents, our mothers and our grandmothers did some things that we would never do, but they were not as evolved as we are. They were who they were. And men are not the men of old. Because while grandpa might have been a Rolling Stone or whatever and did what he did, he took care of home. He paid those bills. He made sure everything was good. He went to whatever job he could hold down, and he took care of grandma. And while he might have been out in them streets, he might have had a pint of something in his back pocket. He might have been doing a little bit of gambling out there with the fellas. He might have been working long hours over across country. Who knows? But he paid those bills, though. She ain't never have to go looking for nobody to take care of it. She might have borrowed some flour and to payday or something, but she wasn't out there in them streets. Grandpa, while we think we're a little bit more evolved than them, and we are, the truth of the matter is he took care of home. Men want those type of women, right? Who going, I'm not saying all, let me just not say like men, all men, no. Some men want women who gonna put up with any and everything, but they don't take care of the business. There's a lot of women that are in non-monogamous relationships right now, and they know that their men are out there, but their men take care of home. Right now. And they know they're cheating, but they stay because he takes care of business. So it's going on right now. We may not see it. She may not talk about it. But yeah, her man sometimes be over there creeping with such and such or meeting up at the hotel with such and such. Okay. That being said, right? Boundaries and respect, absolutely. I don't know who Facebook user is. I see a little voice, a little head, or something. Teach. Micheline, is that you? I don't know if that's you. I see it says Micheline Facebook user. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, I've been on here an hour and 24 minutes. I'm playing too much. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to chop this video up and make it 45 minutes and 45 minutes, and I'm going to release it again. If y'all like what I said, y'all share this video. I happen to think it was dope. I thank y'all for watching. I think I need y'all in my life. Y'all support me and you love on me by watching, by encouraging me to keep going. That's why I'm on here an hour and 24 minutes. You all are dope. I love y'all like I love me some fried chicken with some baked macaroni and cheese. I promise. Y'all have an awesome and amazing night.